I always...
I can't believe I'm asking this question.
Yeah, it's fine, it's fine, it's okay. We are metal enough, they know we are metal enough.
Yeah. Alright, hi there. Please welcome Lena Scissorhands, the singer and front lady of Infected Rain. So
Hi.
Basically the band who's going to kick some ass in, what, roughly 3 hours?
Correct.
Yeah. And take no prisoners, am I right?
What?
Take no prisoners?
No prisoners.
No prisoners.
What's the price to pay for this disaster? For this ludicrous, humiliating fiasco. Never satisfied with...
All right, cool. So let's get cracking. Basically, on this tour, on this whole tour, you're not exactly playing for your typical crowd, right? This is not exactly your typical audience. So how do you approach this?
Well, it's like a challenge. It's a little challenge, but in a good way. I like challenges, to be honest. I like to blow people's mind, because there's a certain expectation, and then it's completely different, So that's kind of fun. I like that, and then it gives us, a good opportunity to be discovered by a different crowd. So why not?
So you could say that it's like useful, yeah, this whole tour for you as a band, yeah?
I think any tour is useful. Any tour is good for you. It doesn't matter who you open for, it doesn't matter who opens for you. I think more shows you do, even if the crowds are small or huge, it's better than sitting home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like for the band.
Sure. Yeah.
Not even only for the musicians, but like for the band. It keeps you always moving. It keeps your band in mind of other people. People start talking to their friends and blah, blah, blah. So it's definitely better than sitting home.
Sure. All right, so let's talk about a bit about your latest work, Endorphin. All right, so basically, endorphins as hormones are, mainly there to block the pain signal, right?
Correct.
Yes.
It's a hormone of happiness that was discovered after pain experments. Yes, with electricity.
On the rats, yeah.
Yes, correct.
As if I recall. Yeah. So basically, I'm mentioning this because on the one hand you've got endorphins to block the pain, and on the other hand your album is full of pain, right?
Correct.
So how does it relate? Yeah.
It's definitely came out one of our probably most emotional and most dark, maybe somehow melancholic albums, I guess. But I think it's a good diversion, right? Because it's after this whole album of all these songs with a lot of messages of darkness and melancholy and maybe even sadness, somewhere depression, after that you feel relieved somehow. It's like a little therapy, it's like a little awakening. So you get the endorphin, after all that pain, because you actually found it and you spot it and you talk about it and you sing about it and scream about it, and it's there, there it is. Because when we block the pain, when we block sadness, when we block anxiety and depression, it's really, really bad for us, because it can lead to a really bad explosion, But when you spot it and you know which is the cause and you know what exactly it is, then it's a little bit easier to deal with it, because you can talk about it, and the pain is it's not so drastic, right? So I think our album Endorphin is a relief after you listen to all these songs with actually a pretty different topic. After you listen to all that, you can relate to some of these topics, and you're yeah, I know exactly what it is to feel like that,
Okay, since you mentioned that, I'm going to switch the order of my questions, because I was going to ask about the next, but let's deal with this now. So, paradoxically, I think my top song from the album is Storm.
Storm. Okay.
Yeah, it's paradoxically, because it's like it may seem for some people out of place. I mean,
Yeah.
hello, what's that? I mean, it's really,
Okay.
and it's not, it's not like I'm trying to be nice or whatever.
No,
but
no, no.
I even think that it's one of my top songs this year.
Really?
Yeah, it is.
Thank you so much.
I'm actually surprised.
We put a lot of love in that song. That song was not meant to be just a closure of the album. That song is a specific, unique, and a song by itself.
Yeah, so
that's why we decided to even present it to people with a lyric video, and not just leave it there for the ending of the album.
And I wanted to ask about it now, because you mentioned this release,
Yes.
everything that follows all this anxiety, depression, etc. So is Storm a sort of release for you, or?
Storm is more like the acceptance of the reality. So when you find yourself, but you still need to find that balance between the world and you, between the nature and you, between the people and you. So that's what Storm is, you finding you, and now connecting to the reality, now connecting to the world, now connecting to the planet, the atmosphere, the starting breathing. You now is a different search. And as a matter of fact, I'm very happy that actually before Storm there is Tapiphobia, which in my opinion is like the heaviest and the most emotional song we ever did, and lyric-wise for me is the strongest message I ever did in my career. So I think it's like the perfect, month of fresh air after all this,
Sure. And music-wise, how did it happen? How did you decide on create a song like Storm? Yeah.
Well, we did experiment a lot with electronic sounds in our songs before. We even have an electronic song on 86. And people were a little bit confused when that came out, and we even had some hate, but where do you go without hate, right?
Yeah.
So I think we wanted, first of all, to keep being creative, to keep giving to people that, because this is what we are. We are not like in just a box and just doing one genre. We are experimenting a lot with our songs, but mainly this idea came from our guitar player Vidik. He's the main songwriter in our band, and when he brought, I think I was the first to listen to like partially this song, and he said, I don't know, maybe it's not for Infected Rain. I just was in the mood for something cosmic like that. Maybe we can do just a song separately, just for fun. And then, I was like, no, this is for Infected Rain. This is what Infected Rain is about, emotions. We are about being alive, about being, sensitive to all the spectrum of emotions. So, I remember encouraging it to be part of Infected Rain.
Great that you did, actually, because it turned out awesome. All right, so you mentioned lyrics a lot. So lyrically, I think my favorite bit is the fragment from the Earth Mantra, where you've got what's the price to pay for this disaster, for this ludicrous, humiliating fiasco, right? I mean,
Correct.
Linguistically and rhythmically, it's like my favorite bit from the whole album,
really?
basically. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
It just clicked, from the very first time. So just wondering if you've got a favorite bit lyrically, for whatever reason,
This album is like really so difficult to choose from, especially because the topics are so different, and all of them concern me so much. I had a really rough year and a half, to be honest, in my past, and everything I wrote about is like exactly what I was feeling, exactly what I was going through. So it's so difficult for me to choose, honestly. I really like some of the phrases from Black Gold, and I really, really like some of the phrases from Pendulum, so I don't know, I really will ask you please not to make me choose, because it's like choosing between your kids.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It's like, it's difficult.
Yeah, even if you do want to choose a kid, you're basically not going to admit it, right? So, maybe do like this. All right. And you're actually quite productive when it comes to your videos, right?
We try to be, yes.
Yeah. So, which one was the most fun, basically?
Ooh, you know, for me, I would say that the most fun was the Earth Mantra for two reasons. I think it is the first like complete music video where I was the only one in the music video. We had a lyric video before with only me, but never like an actual music video. So I felt like under the spotlight. I felt like everything depends on me now. You know, you can choose the best location, you can choose the best costume, you can shoot the music video for the best song ever, but if you're not gonna deliver what you wanted to say properly, it's gonna be, you know, a disaster. So I felt a little bit like under pressure, but not in a bad way, because this topic concerns me a lot. So I really wanted to try to deliver what I'm trying to say here with the lyric wise. So that was the first, and I think I really liked seeing everybody in the band and the crew of Infected Rain working together like that. Basically everybody was doing everything for me because I couldn't really move much because of my costume and everything. My horns were falling apart by the end of the music video. So everybody was so friendly and like a really like a family, was helping each other, like brought things, to give me things, to bring things, to take things. So that was like so great to see first, and also I gotta say I had so much fun playing with all those like little creatures. I love every creature possible. I'm not afraid of any of them, and it was like really fun for me.
The snake wasn't venomous, or was it?
No, the only really dangerous one was the spider, because it's a bird eater. So you don't really die from there if they bite you, but you need to go to the like hospital right away. And in fact, our guitar player Sergey, he was very nervous. He was like, he had the ambulance number on his phone ready to just call right now if something happens.
You can't blame him, you know.
Yes, that was cute actually, that he was so concerned about me, to be honest. But no, I had so much fun. I'm not disgusted by them or afraid of them, so that was a lot of fun.
Alright, cool. Since they're already starting the soundcheck, I think, and it's going to get impossible to talk in a minute or so now. Yeah, but still, I've got actually one more question for you. I'm letting you go, and it's actually ties in nicely with the whole animal theme that you mentioned, because I read that you're actually a Disney nerd.
I am.
Yeah, so my question is, the new Lion King or the original one?
Oh no, definitely the original, and I will tell you why. Okay, the new one was really good too, like really good. So I did a movie theater, made me cry just like the old one, but it happens so that Lion King is my very first Disney movie I ever seen in my life.
Really?
Yes. And I remember being a kid and we rented that cassette and we watched it with my whole family, my sisters and my aunt and her husband and my cousin. All together, I think we watched it like 3 times, all of us crying. And yeah, I have really beautiful memories about that movie, you know, and it's very touching because it talks about the bonding of family, and it's kind of a very important topic for me. So Lion King, I think, still the original. I would go with the original.
Okay, right? Yeah. So if we have a bit more spare time, you've got your favorite Disney princess too?
Ooh, you know, I always...
I can't believe I'm asking this question.
Yeah,
but
it's
anyway.
fine, it's okay. We are metal enough, they know we are metal enough.
Yeah, cool.
I think I like Snow White still.
Snow White,
Yeah,
really?
Snow White was the first one. So the very first animated movie in the 38, I think, if I remember correctly.
Something like that, yeah.
It was Snow White. So I think I still like her. She's like, you know, this cute little girl that talks to the animals and, you know, tries to escape from the bad things in the world.
Yeah, I think the original was not that family friendly. I mean, the original.
No, because of the Queen. Yeah,
we're not going to talk about
probably the worst, like the badass but the worst at the same time villain ever. Yeah, I do like Tangled a lot too, like Aurora, but yeah, I don't know, Brave I like a lot too. I gotta say, she's like
Yes,
amazing, and
strong
she has
female
my
lead,
hair
yeah.
color. So,
Yeah, that's true, that's
and
true.
she's very boyish, which reflects a lot like with me, because I grew up around boys. So not wanting to be a girl, to be a princess, not wanting to play with dolls. That was me, so me. So yeah, I like her a lot too.
All right, cool. On that note, there you go.
Bye.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Shouting from the thunder.